Get ready, Hollywood Men fans. The news cycle is absolutely wild, and we've got the hottest updates dropping right now that you absolutely cannot miss. From behind-the-scenes revelations to deep dives into cinematic legacies, we're breaking it all down. You think you know what's happening? Think again. We're diving deep into stories that are making waves, sparking conversations, and redefining what's possible. Don't blink, because you might miss the next big thing. We're bringing you the inside scoop, the untold stories, and the moments that matter. First up, a legendary comedian's legacy is getting the spotlight it deserves, and it turns out a surprising, pint-sized negotiator played a key role in bringing some major stars on board for a new documentary. We're talking about the efforts to secure iconic voices for a film celebrating a beloved figure, and the story behind it is as heartwarming as it is hilarious. Get ready for the details on how a 2-year-old became the ultimate Hollywood dealmaker. Then, we're pulling back the curtain on the creative process and the enduring impact of a comedic icon. Two key figures behind a new documentary are sharing exclusive insights into the life, career, and the profound kindness that defined a generation's favorite star. Discover what inspired this project and the personal connections that made it a passion piece, revealing the nuanced layers of a performer who brought joy to millions. And finally, we're heading to the Toronto International Film Festival, where the makers behind a highly anticipated documentary gathered to discuss the profound legacy of a comedic giant. Hear directly from the director, a major Hollywood producer, and the family of the star himself about what makes this film a must-see. They're sharing stories of inspiration, challenges, and the unique spirit of a Canadian icon. Stick around, because this is Hollywood Men, and we've got your essential updates. Make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on so you never miss a beat. A Toddler's Diplomacy: How a 2-year-old Landed Bill Murray for John Candy doc. It's a tale that blends Hollywood persistence with the undeniable charm of a toddler, proving that sometimes the most effective negotiators come in the smallest packages. Securing legendary talent for a documentary can be a monumental task, especially when those talents are famously elusive. Such was the challenge faced by Ryan Reynolds as a producer for the upcoming documentary, John Candy, I Like Me, which was set to open the Toronto International Film Festival. The film aims to celebrate the life and career of the late, beloved Canadian comedian John Candy, featuring a star-studded cast of his former collaborators and admirers. Among the many luminaries lending their voices to the project were Tom Hanks, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Catherine O'Hara. However, the real hurdles, according to Reynolds, were convincing the notoriously hard-to-reach Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd to participate. Reynolds shared at a press conference, with director Colin Hanks and John Candy's children, Jennifer and Chris Candy, by his side, that while no one outright refused, securing Bill Murray was a significant undertaking. Bill Murray is not easy, Reynolds candidly admitted. In a moment of playful desperation, Reynolds resorted to a video message for Murray, a tactic he described as a sign of his dwindling options. He humorously recounted his plea, "Bill, I'm running out of time. You know, existentially, because death will find me someday, but I'm also running out of time on this doc." The turning point, however, came in the most unexpected way. While Reynolds was attempting to send his video plea late one night, his 2-year-old son woke up. The toddler, wanting to show off his Jingle Bells shirt, inadvertently became the key to unlocking Murray's participation. Reynolds, seizing the moment, playfully urged his son to tell Bill Murray to do the interview. The child's earnest, albeit slightly angry, demand, "Do the interview, Bill," proved to be an irresistible force. Reynolds quipped to the assembled media, "Would you say no to a child like that? I don't know what kind of monster you are." The very next day, Murray agreed to participate, with Reynolds promising that the child would not be present during the interview and would be neutralized. The documentary itself promises a comprehensive look at Candy's life, incorporating home videos, archival news footage, and interviews with his widow, Rose Candy, offering an intimate portrait of the comedic icon. Reynolds also recounted the arduous process of securing Dan Aykroyd, describing it as a months-long endeavor. When he finally connected with Aykroyd, the actor laid out a unique proposition. Reynolds would fly to him, have dinner, stay the night, conduct the interview the following morning, and then depart. Reynolds described this experience as one of the best nights of my life, recalling being picked up by Aykroyd in a 1994 Lincoln Town car. a vehicle Reynolds humorously speculated might have been borrowed from the set of Grosse Pointe Blank and driven to Aykroyd's home in the Ontario woods. The film, John Candy, I Like Me, is slated for release on Prime Video on October 10th, offering audiences a chance to revisit the warmth and talent of John Candy through the eyes of those who knew and admired him most. But what does this unexpected toddler-led negotiation mean for the future of securing talent for passion projects? Stay tuned as we dive into the deeper reflections on John Candy's enduring impact and the personal stories behind this heartfelt documentary. Kindness, comedy, and connection. Reynolds and Hanks on John Candy's unforgettable legacy. In the heart of Hollywood, the enduring spirit of John Candy continues to inspire, and his legacy is being meticulously preserved in the new documentary, John Candy, I Like Me. This film, which premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival, is more than just a retrospective. It's a deep dive into the character, career, and profound kindness that made Candy a cherished figure. Directors Ryan Reynolds and Colin Hanks, along with Candy's children Jennifer and Chris Candy, who served as executive producers, recently sat down for an exclusive chat, offering intimate glimpses into the making of the film and the man it honors. Colin Hanks, who directed the documentary, spoke about the pervasive theme of kindness that defined John Candy's life and work. He highlighted how Candy's ability to blend humor with genuine warmth created a unique connection with audiences. Hanks shared his personal experiences and observations, emphasizing that Candy's off-screen persona was as remarkable as his on-screen presence. The documentary aims to capture this duality, showcasing not just his comedic genius in films like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Uncle Buck, but also the integrity and generosity that characterized him as a person. Ryan Reynolds, a producer on the film, elaborated on what drew him to this project. He revealed that his own children are huge fans of Candy's movies, a personal connection that fueled his passion for telling Candy's story. Reynolds expressed a desire to ensure that a new generation would be introduced to Candy's unique brand of humor and his fundamentally good nature. He emphasized Candy's ability to bring people together, stating, "John, to me, really represents togetherness, joy, not punching down." Reynolds also touched upon the importance of remembering Candy's authenticity in an increasingly curated world, noting, "John was a good person when no one was watching. I think that's a beautiful thing." Jennifer and Chris Candy, John's children, also shared their perspectives on the documentary, describing it as a way to share more about their father with the world. They spoke about the healing process of working on the film, viewing it as a swan song and a beautiful way to say goodbye to their dad, allowing him to star in one last great film. Jennifer recounted how, as she grew older, she understood and embraced sharing her father with his fans, finding comfort and connection in their stories. The documentary also bravely tackles some of the more challenging aspects of Candy's life, including the media's often harsh commentary on his weight. Colin Hanks noted that in an era where discussing mental health was taboo, it was distressingly common to make insensitive remarks about a person's physical appearance. This contrast between the lack of open dialogue about mental well-being and the casual cruelty regarding weight is a significant theme the film explores. Reynolds added that documentaries should aim to delve into the uncomfortable truths, stating, "The thing that you think is untouchable or something you want to sit as far away from as possible is the very thing you want to move toward." The film is set to premiere on Prime Video on October 10th, promising an intimate and insightful look at a comedic legend. But beyond the personal reflections, what does this documentary reveal about the changing landscape of how we remember and discuss public figures? Up next, we head to the Toronto International Film Festival for the premiere of this highly anticipated film and hear from the team behind it. TIFF premiere buzz. Reynolds, Hanks, and Candy family unveil John Candy, I Like Me. The Toronto International Film Festival is abuzz with the premiere of John Candy, I Like Me, a documentary celebrating the indelible legacy of the late Canadian comedic icon. The film's creators, including producer Ryan Reynolds, director Colin Hanks, and John Candy's children Jennifer and Chris Candy, gathered at Toronto's historic Second City Comedy Club, the very place where Candy honed his craft, to discuss the making of the film and the enduring impact of its subject. The genesis of the documentary can be traced back to a viral tribute video Ryan Reynolds posted on Twitter several years ago. The overwhelming positive response and the outpouring of affection for Candy from fans worldwide sparked the idea for a more in-depth exploration of his life. "You saw how people really grabbed onto it," Reynolds remarked, with Jennifer Candy agreeing. "They grabbed onto it. It was a great little snippet of what a full-length documentary could be." This initial success led Reynolds to approach Colin Hanks, whose father, Tom Hanks, had starred with Candy in Splash. Reynolds expressed his conviction that a documentary about Candy was long overdue, stating, "I don't want to live in a world where there is not a documentary about John Candy." Hanks readily agreed, and the collaboration began. Hanks emphasized the importance of defining the specific story they wanted to tell, moving beyond a generic tribute to create a film with a clear narrative focus. Reynolds highlighted Candy's unique ability to blend humor with heartfelt emotion, citing his performances in films like Spaceballs and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He described Candy as representing togetherness, joy, not punching down, and a person of genuine kindness, even when not in the public eye. This authenticity resonated deeply with Reynolds, especially in today's highly curated world. Jennifer Candy echoed these sentiments, viewing her father as a representation of strong family values and shared joy. For the Candy children, producing the documentary also served as a profound act of healing and closure. Chris Candy noted that as they grew older, they gained a deeper understanding of their father's struggles and were ready to entrust his story to filmmakers who could honor it authentically. He described the film as a beautiful goodbye and a final opportunity for their father to star in one last great John Candy film. The documentary also addresses the often difficult media scrutiny Candy faced regarding his weight. Colin Hanks pointed out the stark contrast between the era's reluctance to discuss mental health and the casual insensitivity with which Candy's appearance was often treated. At that time, talking about therapy or mental health was just something you did not do, Hanks observed, while noting that it was totally okay to mention someone's weight to their face and make them feel incredibly uncomfortable. Reynolds stressed that the documentary aims to move towards these uncomfortable truths, acknowledging that posthumously, comedians are often canonized, but perhaps not always appreciated for their full humanity in their time. The film aims to introduce Candy's magic to a new generation, with Reynolds expressing his excitement for those who haven't yet experienced his work. The film premieres at TIFF on September 4th, followed by an Amazon Prime release on October 10th. This deep dive into John Candy's life raises questions about how we perceive and celebrate our most beloved entertainers. We'll continue to explore the impact of these stories and what they mean for the future of entertainment news. Beyond the laughs, unpacking John Candy's Canadian spirit and enduring influence. At the Toronto International Film Festival, the buzz surrounding John Candy, I Like Me, extends beyond its star-studded cast and behind-the-scenes revelations. The documentary is also a powerful exploration of John Candy's deep connection to his Canadian roots and the unique qualities that made him a national treasure. Producers Ryan Reynolds and Colin Hanks, alongside Candy's children Jennifer and Chris Candy, emphasized the importance of telling this story from a Canadian perspective, highlighting the distinct cultural identity that Candy embodied. Ryan Reynolds, himself a proud Canadian, articulated the unique spirit of Canadian identity, noting a shared sense of camaraderie and a particular ability to laugh at oneself. He sees this trait reflected in fellow Canadians like Dan Aykroyd, and most profoundly in John Candy. "To me, it was something I utilized everywhere every chance I got," Reynolds said, referring to this Canadian sensibility. He believes that Candy, like Aykroyd, was an incredibly proud Canadian, and that this identity was integral to his persona and his appeal. The documentary delves into how Candy's warmth, generosity, and positivity made him a symbol of Canada for many. His ability to connect with audiences on a deeply human level, transcending borders with his relatable characters and infectious laughter, is a central theme. Director Colin Hanks discussed the challenges and nuances of capturing Candy's life story. He noted that while many might suggest documentaries about famous figures, the true art lies in defining the specific narrative and emotional arc. Hanks aimed to create a film that not only celebrated Candy's comedic achievements, but also explored the man behind the roles. This included examining the pressures and vulnerabilities that Candy experienced, particularly the public commentary on his weight and the societal attitudes of the time. Hanks pointed out the stark contrast between the era's discomfort with discussing mental health and the casual cruelty often directed at individuals based on their physical appearance. This exploration adds a layer of depth, humanizing Candy and highlighting the societal issues he navigated. Jennifer and Chris Candy shared their personal journey in bringing this documentary to fruition. They described the process as one of healing and closure, allowing them to share their father's story with a new generation while also gaining a deeper understanding of his life. Jennifer explained that as she matured, she felt more comfortable sharing her father with his adoring public, finding that the strong bonds within their core family allowed for this openness. The documentary aims to capture the essence of Candy's legacy, his unparalleled comedic timing, his heartfelt performances, and his unwavering kindness. It seeks to remind audiences of his significant contributions to film and television, solidifying his place as one of the most beloved entertainers of his generation. The film's premiere at TIFF on September 4th, followed by its release on Amazon Prime on October 10th, marks a significant moment for fans eager to revisit the magic of John Candy. This exploration of John Candy's Canadian identity and personal journey offers a profound look at the man behind the legend. Join us as we wrap up today's top stories with a quick recap and a look at what's next. That's a wrap on today's essential updates. We've uncovered the surprising secrets behind landing A-list talent for a documentary, explored the enduring legacy of a comedic icon through the eyes of those who knew him best, and celebrated the profound impact of a beloved Canadian star. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Hollywood Men for more exclusive content, and ring that notification bell so you're the first to know when we drop new videos. Drop a comment below and let us know your favorite John Candy movie. And for even more behind-the-scenes action and updates, follow us on all our social media channels. We'll see you in the next one.